When you said I show time, does that mean I show time? Or like yeah, okay. I don't even know if that part recorded, so that might be completely out of context, make zero sense to anybody.
But I mean, have we ever started off the podcast on a good foot?
No. We could be the time king, the clock king.
Uh-oh.
I got I was scouring eBay for random DCAU like vintage things, as I am wont to do. And there was a Justice League Batman alarm clock for $19. And it was very dusty, and it was RFB. It was removed from box. It was not in great condition, but I was like, cool, a thing I didn't know existed. And I messaged the seller, hey, does the, because it says like, oh, it still works, the alarm works, it has voices and stuff. And I said, is it Kevin Conroy as Batman? A week went by, 2 weeks went by, I never got a message back. But because I had hit watch on it, he sent me like a coupon thing that they'll do that sometimes on eBay. Maddie just told me about this the other day, and it just immediately happened to me. Where like you watch something and they're like, we really want you to buy this, so get it. So they gave me like a discount on it. So I still didn't know the answer to the question. So I'm like, okay, now it's $15. I'll just buy this. It showed up yesterday, and it is not Kevin Conroy.
Oh no!
Nor is it even Batman talking. It's just Batman standing there with his arms crossed, but the alarm clock goes like, the Justice League springs into action when the da-da-da happens in Metropolis. It just like does a bunch of random shit, and it's like half garbled and half spoken. Like you can't... I don't know what the fuck I bought, but it wasn't what I thought it was. I was hoping to change my 2 o'clock stand-up alarms from my phone to just like Kevin Conroy going 2 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
But nope, I don't get
Instead,
to,
you got some Russian voiceover actor doing an poor impersonation of a cat.
I see, as I sent you that on Twitter. It's just it's an episode we haven't even gotten to yet, but it's just some cat like being picked up and poked with a syringe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, also, just look it up.
Just look it up. Do you want to start the podcast?
Yeah. Or whatever. Like it does not sound like a cat.
Well, even like the hissing cat was just like.
You know how to do a cat voice, right?
Yeah.
No? Of course I do. Hi, this is Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Did you
Hi,
know?
everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
I'm Jamie?
I'm Brian. This week I'm Brian, you're Jamie, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
That could be fun.
You got to do
the 41st
everything.
episode. We might as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or is it the 42nd?
Amazing.
There you go. Welcome, everybody, to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, the podcast where we watch the entire DC animated universe in the controversial airdate order just to be like the kids in the 90s. Brian here hasn't seen any of it except for the 40 whatever episodes we've seen, and I, Jamie, am what you might call a professional.
I'm sorry, Brian. That's my only impression of you is you just laughing. It's a very uproarious laugh, you know.
I've gotten a lot of that in my past.
I like it though.
Do you?
Don't take it negatively. I want it to keep happening.
I know that's one of those things where, like, do you ever have a friend that does or says, or like maybe your partner, maybe your wife or whatever, does or says a thing that you really like, and it's like quirky, and you're just like, oh, I love that thing, I want to like collect it, but then you don't want to tell them, because like for fear that they're gonna get self-conscious about it and then stop doing the thing that you love so much.
Yeah, and you and my wife do the big laugh, and so I want you to keep doing it. This week, we're watching Batman the Animated Series episode, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?
That's the weirdest title we've had.
Yeah, it is. It's the longest title, I think, of any of these, because I always have a hard time fitting it on any sort of document or image or anything that I'm needing it for. It was like, damn it, why the fuck? Why are there so many words in this?
Oh, no.
Like, good luck to us finding a title, like a made-up subtitle for this episode that can fit in the YouTube title.
Yeah, you might have to
poop.
You might have to go to the description for it to read the full title.
If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Or check the description, and it'll just have a way longer title.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good for us.
This is the 39th episode produced and the 41st to air.
Not bad.
It's aired Wednesday, November 18th, 1992. No skip days. 4:30 p.m. Fox. This is written by David Wise, who is the writer of The Clock King and The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, which was the Hugo Strange find out he was Batman thing. Mm-hmm. Directed by Eric Radomski. He was the director of Almost Got Him. And music by Carlos Rodriguez, who is the composer for Fear of Victory. It was the I'm Robin. Suddenly there came a Robin, and I'm scared. I'm just scared the whole episode.
Totes.
We have a new animation company for this episode.
Dong Rise Oh, wait.
Dong Rise? Is that what you said? Damn it.
I didn't. That one came out of my mouth, and then I heard what I said. Whoops.
Well, the actual name of the company is much less interesting. It's Blue Pencil. Is the name of the company. With ink and paint by Jade Animation. Both are new to our lives.
I wonder why they have such a drastic change in presentation and everything.
I don't know. I think I was recently talking with Dan Reba about this, and I can't remember why Blue... Oh, he was complaining about the animation, and I said, yeah, it's ACOM, isn't it? And he said, no, it was made in Spain. And I said, oh, no, Blue Pencil? Who? And he said, Lapis Azul was the actual name of the company.
Oh, my God.
Blue Pencil in Spanish. He said they were nice guys. I translated a bit for their meeting. Good animators, but the ink and paint wasn't great, and they could have had better layouts. So that's why the ink and paint went to a different company. So yeah, we're about to see whatever botched Frankenstein of an episode this is, and
I can hardly wait.
It's the first Riddler episode, Brian. It's the first Riddler episode. I've been looking forward to it.
I'm looking. I'm just looking. I'm looking to look. I'd like to look at it. Can we look?
I am looking. Yes, let's look now.
Okay.
Okay.
Empty. Well, Bat something or other, isn't it? Who invited you? You know what happens to gate crashers? They have to match wits with the Riddler.
Okay, really quick, I forgot to say these couple of things when we recorded the whole episode, but I'm sticking this in the middle somewhere.
Nice.
First thing, John Trumbull, he's a DCAU, he did some Batman the Animated Series coloring books, and he interviews a bunch of people for magazines and such. He is doing a bunch of commissions online right now. You can get a character commission. I just showed Brian a picture of the Riddler that he drew. Here's a Superman.
Oh, it's so good.
We got a Batman.
Wow.
Oh, you see it? There it is. Et cetera, et cetera. I paid him to do one. Go find him on Twitter at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL Comic. Hopefully you know how to spell comic. It's COMIC, and just in case you don't, he's on Twitter. Send him a message. Get a drawing in DCAU style of a thing. That's the first thing. Okay.
Okay.
Help him out. He needs to do a thing right now, and he needs the money. And help him out. The second thing is we have a giant video coming up on Sunday, 2 days from when you are listening to this. It's about Poison Ivy, and you got to watch it. I filmed it in Brian's house, shed house, where he records most of the podcasts. So when you watch the video, you'll be like, oh, I can just imagine Brian in here recording a podcast. That's live premiering on Sunday. I don't know the exact time yet, but soon going to be up. The page will be up to go to go hit the button that says remind me when this is going live and such.
And then go watch the thing live.
Yeah, and be there. Be there or be square.
Be there. Just be there. No
Just
other
be
options. Be there.
Okay? We put a lot of work into it, and it's really cool, and it turned out really good. I'm really proud of it, and it's a video that we've been teasing since 2017, so please watch it.
Yeah.
Which is nothing compared to how long I've been teasing Reality, my movie, but it's still a long time, so...
Yup.
Okay, that's the extra message. Thank you. Here's the rest of the podcast now. Y'all ready for this? No. Y'all ready for this? That's what it is. I couldn't remember it. There we go.
Nice.
Brian and I were just commiserating with each other. We both do this thing where we go, y'all ready for this? And then we start singing that on accident instead of the actual song.
Wait, the original one is
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. You can't flip back after you've already flipped, you know?
No.
If anyone else does that, let us know. I wonder if this is a phenomenon past. I don't think we've talked about that before, and we both do it. So.
No. We're brothers in our perpetual confusion.
Yeah, just like Batman, not really, because he knew all the riddles in like 5 seconds.
God, there was.
Well, first you got to tell us what happened.
Fine, I will. Enigma. What? Edward? What's his name?
Yeah. Yes.
Edward Nigma. Dear God. He got kind of screwed out of a deal making a video game and decided to become the Riddler and
took him only 2 years to do it.
Yeah. And decided to ruin the life of the business guy who got him fired and was like basically stealing all of his work. Riddler comes to be. He makes an elaborate trap for a rich guy and makes a huge maze based on the video game that Batman and Robin have to solve in order to save this dude's life. And then they do, but the Riddler gets away because he's leaving on a jet plane.
He sure is.
And I don't know. I've been trying to abbreviate my synopses.
Yeah, but when you do that, it makes it less funny for the future when we have to read back the synopses.
Oh, God, that's right. You'll have to put in this part about
thing.
reading back the synopses, and I'll just do my thing next time.
Yeah, you just do whatever.
I'll just do whatever.
Whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
I'm going to play, to read the official synopsis, I've decided I'm going to try this time and see if the copyright robots pick it up or not. If they do, I won't do it again. But I'm going to play the music from the title card as I read the official synopsis for If You're So Smart, Why Are You Rich? Okay, you ready?
Okay, man, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. When Edward... This is not the right music. This is sexy, though. I don't know what this is.
Just roll with this, man.
It's called If You're So Smart Source. All right, that's not it. I don't think that's the right track. Though, I'm just going to... What? That's right. This is called The Wasteland. This seems better. When Edward Nigma, the genius behind the computer game Riddle of the Minotaur, demands his rightful share of profits for the game from his greedy and manipulative boss, Mockridge, he is summarily fired. Nigma vows revenge, and years later, when Mockridge is selling his company to Wayne Enterprises, Nigma makes his move. In his new guise, that of the Riddler. He kidnaps Mockridge, but not before encountering Batman and Robin. Batman quickly deduces the Riddler's real identity. In order to rid himself of the Dark Knight and his brat, the Riddler uses Mockridge to lure Batman and Robin into a giant Minotaur maze based on the computer game. The only way Batman can save Mockridge and leave the maze is by solving a series of deadly riddles. The end. That's it. was an awkward way to stop that, but
I really liked. I mean, you could just fade out the volume, right?
I could have, yeah. I didn't, but I will next time.
Fair. I really liked the bit of you like doing it in your kind of like mysterious tone, and then as the music swelled and got louder, you had to do
I
that
can't hear
same tone,
myself
but
think
screaming.
over this music. I was actually hoping it would just get into some sudden like action scene music, and I'd just have to be screaming it over the top. But
Maybe next time.
No, maybe
oh, that's
next time.
cool. I like that. Good job,
we can try
Jamie.
that. I'll play like that weird like tuba Joker music when you do yours to emphasize the stupidness, and then.
If it wasn't for the copyright thing, I'd ask you to do the oh god, you know it.
No.
Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah.
What is that?
It's called well, it's a theme from Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it's called
Yes.
something with an L, I think. Anyway, yeah, well, somehow it wasn't picking up the Cowboy Bebop theme the last couple episodes, so I don't know how we got through like that whole song and it didn't care.
Nice.
But anyway,
that's cool.
Yeah. So what do you think? You finally got to the Riddler episode.
I was glad to see the Riddler. I was glad that he was like still like pretty theatrical and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty upset, and we coined a terrible name for him that is not easy to say. We decided that he's not the Riddler, but instead he's the Punner.
Punner.
It's like the Punisher, but he's
There's
all
no extra
puns.
vowels in there. It's just several N's.
Punner.
Punner.
Pun, like apostrophe N, apostrophe ner. Punner.
Yeah, okay. There's breath marks in the name.
Yeah. Breath marks.
Ner. Basically because he had more puns than riddles. He just did a bunch of like, I'd say you're handled for now, or whatever, as he just ties him to a handle and such. And the maze had a handful of things in there too that I can't remember, but
yeah, I can't remember them either. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. What did you think of the animation in this? Because there were times it was like, oh no, this is like ACOM level, and then there were also times where like, I don't know, some of the shots of Riddler, his face was like super expressive to where I was like, oh, why can't it always be like this? This looks great. This looks like Disney almost kind of level of like fluidity and stuff. And then it just went right back to like, and his hand is way too small or something. Or like Batman was like really, really chunky in one shot where he's yelling at Riddler and his chin is like 10 times the size it should be. Yeah.
Occasionally get some like almost dropped frames in animation. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like his face glitched, but the rest of it was fine.
He was like they were trying to like make him move like on ones, like on every frame or something a couple times. It felt like it was like, you don't have to draw this many drawings. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just draw a handful of good drawings, not this many bad drawings.
And I think they only had like one of those like painted cells.
Yeah, we had that shot of the Riddler when he reveals his name. He's just like 99% a painting except his mouth.
Yeah.
And his nose is like barely shaded. That's always bothered me. He just looks like he doesn't have a nose.
Yeah. I kind of like that though when he had like the shadow across his face and the like pointy white dot eyes.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
but
that's always a really cool shot.
Not as cool as the stuff as the animators tried to slip in or didn't.
The sex.
That was
the word sex.
That was not subtle. That wasn't subtle at all.
It's weird because I don't think I mean, I never noticed that as a kid, but I wasn't looking for anything. I mean, you're reading like every sign. Your eyes are attuned to like words. It says words. What are the words?
That was in the middle of the screen. It was a dark gray background. It said S and E, like capital S-E, and then it was in front of some scaffolding that plainly had an X for the first like 3 seconds the camera wasn't moving.
There's all that stuff about like the Little Mermaid cover having like a big dildo building on it and stuff like that, where like those things have been like confirmed to like be real things. Mm-hmm. I do wonder if this giant word sex is just like an accident, like oh shit, like there's cross beams in the thing right next to SE or whatever, but it seems so purposeful and like what a funny, hilarious joke. The word sex. Like, I know. Is that the peak of comedy in the late 80s, early 90s when these things were happening in Disney movies?
The animators were 14.
Yeah. Well, okay, I guess.
Is C, like S-E, a word in Spanish?
Say. I don't know. Tell us, listener. I mean, S-I is if, and S-I with an accent is yes.
S-E in Spanish a word?
Oh, wait, it's no. It means no with a K. K, no. Like, I don't know. Brian, I know. Come back. I've been yelling at you that I remembered that it means no. So,
That it means
like with
no?
a K. Like with a K, no. K-N-O-W. Like when you say no say, it means I don't know.
Yeah, she was saying that it was part of like, it'd be part of a sentence, but it's not so much a word on its own unless it has different accents that it means different things. But
you were attributing it to Spanish language because of the animation company being from Spain. Is this correct?
C.
And then there were also several times where the animation looked like a Spanish cartoon. We agreed. Which
Yes.
I couldn't really place like what other Spanish cartoons that I've seen, but as soon as you said that, we were watching and I'm like, you're right.
What was like the guy, like what was the
Mockridge.
Mockridge. He was like had a dark complexion. He had that like 50s kind of slicked like
the little
black
mustache.
hair, and he had the pencil mustache, which is
Yeah.
like, this is like so and even like I feel like every other character was like had like a little bit more melanin than they do when it's like,
Right.
you know,
Well, but
even
it's
like a
like-
Japanese company.
I mean, they would have designed that character before they knew where the animation was going, but maybe they just interpreted it that. I don't know. I know what you're saying. But
yeah, the art was a weird balance of like really cool and kind of really bad. But one of my favorite my favorite bit of bad animation, I think, actually, was Batman like kind of landed in this weird like open arm position, and he had his mouth wide open, and then he said like a whole sentence just like not moving at all with his mouth open, and this word just came out.
Yeah, you just immediately said his mouth didn't move.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like looking at all the intricate computers in the background and stuff. Like, I got it. I fucking caught them. What was that whole deal with they get to the maze and Riddler's like, you know, if you took your pants off, this would be a lot more interesting. If you just removed your belt and, you know,
Yeah.
whatever happens.
It was like a subtle pickup.
Yeah.
Remove your utility belts and I don't know, let's just see where the night takes us.
Just get a bat party going in here. Just let him loose.
What was his plan?
I don't know.
Like,
Kill
what
him.
if like, okay, Batman didn't make it in time was probably his plan.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine his plan was that Mockridge was going to die and Batman wasn't going to be able to save him. But what was Batman going to do? What was he going to do with Batman in his maze after that? Just like hope he doesn't get out and find him, or what?
I guess I hope that he gets killed in the maze. I don't know.
But like, what if he didn't?
Well, that's not how the episode went, Brian, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I need to know his plan.
I remember I thought I remembered the Minotaur doing a lot more. I think I was combining that with the like eagle things that are shooting fire at them. I think I remembered that the Minotaur was those every time, but like
The Griffins?
mythologically it makes sense for him to just be in the center of the maze the whole time.
Yeah.
But I just assumed for some reason that any dangerous thing. I really like that the C sharp, D sharp, A sharp thing.
Yeah.
That's always been really fun to me. Just the fact that they like put an actual riddle in the Riddler episode.
Yeah.
Like something you had to think about for more than 5 seconds.
Was that? Oh, so there was that riddle, and there's the one at the Minotaur. Were there any other riddles? I guess
there was the one to get them there in the first place.
Yeah, there was like the corn one about the height of an elephant's eye, and then there was the like Morse code one about being in the maze.
How do you think
Or
he
wait,
did
that is the
that?
same.
I think the Riddler got a hold of the entire... I mean, I guess you see him at the Gotham Light Power building, but with a fist raised in the air. And then, what did he... What did...
Fuck that.
How do you turn on and off the whole city like a light switch. I don't know. Is that's not how that works? Kind of.
That
deal?
is exactly that.
Okay.
That's not how that works.
Oh, so good.
Just had to make sure I could use it at least once.
Thank you.
We've really been slacking on the plot device. It used to be our gold standard, you know.
I know. We're just refining. We're refining.
Yeah, we're slipping in and out of new phases. We'll get this.
We'll get it.
Was there any plot device worthy thing in this? I don't know. Not really. Other than just like Batman just knew he was Edward Nygma. Like I've heard of this guy.
Yeah. This software programmer, the famous guy that everybody knows.
Yeah, the guy with suspenders and a bow tie and a pompadour or whatever. That one guy in Gotham that looks like a Disney character, or like a more like a Tintin character.
I was really okay. I guess it's another like little animation thing, but I found it funny when he like. After seeing it, I presumed that he grabbed the door handle and went to open it, and like it didn't turn, and he ran face first in the door. But like from the animation, it just looks like he just walked straight face first in the door.
Usually
like,
my door opens inward and the lock sucks, so I can just use my face to open the door, but not today. This hurt actually this time.
Yeah. It was, but you know what? All in all, like I think it was a pretty fun episode, and yeah, the animation was weird. I definitely had a hard time, and like the disco rave party fight scene that I'm still perplexed on.
Yeah, the action was kind of good for surprisingly. Like when Batman and Robin are running down the maze, it was fast. Like they were booking it, and like I feel like any other animation company we've seen so far, characters running, they just look like they're running so sluggishly and slowly. Especially that lady in the park who was running at both 60 and 24 frames per second at the same time. But I don't know like I think just their whatever they're doing for motion in this at this company. I don't think we get very many episodes with this company. Like I don't recognize this name whatsoever.
Blue Pencil whatever it was. What was Blue Pencil in Spanish?
Lapis Azul.
Lapis Azul. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn Spanish.
Lapis Azul. Lapis Azul.
Lapis Azul. That can be the subtitle for the episode.
Yeah, Lapis Azul. But you gotta spell it like Lapis Azul. No, it's Poop. Remember the name is Poop, so I can fit it in the title.
Nice. Yes, let's do that. That's great.
Yeah,
so
people
funny.
will laugh. No, let's call it Sex.
SE and then use like a scaffolding emoji.
That won't upset Anchor's feed at all.
You could use the # /hashtag if you were born after 1995.
Yeah, I've heard some people in their 40s call it a hashtag when they, like, oh, when you get to the gate, you got to do the hashtag before the. I'm like, no. That's a pound.
I'm in that camp of like, it depends the context of what I call it.
Yeah.
If it's on a phone, it's absolutely pound. If it's like on social media, then yes.
If it's on a keypad, it's not intent. You're not tweeting from the keypad. Oh my gosh! Just arrived at your house. Hashtag the code. Anyway, let's date ourselves even more. The cast of this episode. We got Kevin Conroy as Batman, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, John Glover as the Riddler.
Donald Glover.
No.
It's like second episode in a row.
Yeah,
Good to talk about Donald
Gambino. Yuck. He's been in a bunch of shit. He played Dr. Jason Woodrue in Batman and Robin, the movie. He pushes poison ivy into chemicals and makes her poison ivy. He's a crazy scientist, man. He's also Lionel Luthor, Lex Luthor's dad on Smallville. He plays Dr. Sivana's dad in the Shazam movie. He's just a bunch of like random DC dads.
Is there anything non-DC that
yes,
I might know?
his perhaps most famous normie role is Daniel Clamp in Gremlins 2. Which you still don't know.
No.
I barely know it, but he's like, I think he's intended to be like CEO businessman type bad guy in that, but then he just winds up doing some goofy Gremlin stuff the whole time. So
Sweet.
yeah, I need to watch that again. Can we add Gremlins 2 to our list of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Snatch and whatever else that we're supposed to watch together?
Absolutely. But you're going to have to take that note.
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. I got my list of things I need to do with Brian when I'm in person with Brian. And the list Smart House was on there too.
Thanks, Dylan.
The list gets longer and longer, and we only do like one or two things every time that I'm with you. Watch Gremlins 2, watch Smart House, watch Roger Rabbit. I got to show you my Carl Saw Trap video. Aqua Teen Hunger Force Carl Saw Trap video.
Uh-huh.
Play Dark Side of the Moon with the Strange Secret podcast episode to see what lines up. Even though Maddie sort of did that, but I want to see what else happens in the middle of it.
Yeah.
There's a few other things. Anyway, Gary Frank as Daniel Mockridge. The only things I could find that he was like in a bunch of was episodes of The Love Boat, Remington Steele, and Matlock. So
Awesome.
he's like one of those guys.
Yep.
Lauren Lester as Robin. Brock Peters as Lucius Fox, who we had in that opening 2 years later scene. Oh, you're showing me your business shit, Mr. Businessman.
Show me your business shit.
Show me your business shit.
Opens up a shoebox.
Your business shit. What? Show me your business shit. Your genitalia. Hal Rail as henchman. I don't know which henchman. He's been a bunch of just background voices on every cartoon ever, but weirdly, he was also the voice of the Predator in Predator 2.
Awesome.
When I opened up his IMDb page and it just said voice of the Predator, and like the guy who invented the like crackly Predator voice is Peter Cullen, who's Optimus Prime on Transformers stuff and whatever. And so I was like, no, he's not. He's not the Predator voice. But he was just the Predator voice in Predator 2 for some reason. And I didn't look any further into it, and I'm never going to. So
Awesome.
yeah. You want some trivs?
I want some trivs.
Okay. Can you tell me? You tell me the trivs. We talked about this a while ago that we just make up a triv, and we didn't actually do that.
Oh, that's right. That was Brad's suggestion. I'll tell you a triv.
Yeah, okay.
Did you know
Yes.
that the Batmobile only appeared in there was a parking garage at one scene, and the animators put in a Batmobile in there because they wanted to animate it.
So all those other scenes in this episode with the Batmobile, that was a different car?
Yeah, that was just a Buick.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, they were driving a Buick.
Did you know that, well, this is real. Bruce Wayne was in the Batcave, and we were like, what the fuck? That's against the rules.
Oh, yeah! Can we talk about that?
The very next episode, yeah.
I was so pleased. I was thinking about that. Like, I thought about that a lot after listening to our last episode and just kind of be like, wow, that's a really, like, cool thing that they're sticking to. And then the next damn episode, they break that rule. And I was just all sorts of, like, fired up about that. But to be fair, they gave him the Batman voice as Bruce.
Yeah, so they're in the business meeting and Bruce Wayne reads the first half of the riddle and then it transitions into the next scene and he's been saying it again in his Batman voice. So I'm like, he's Batman now. But then he's still Bruce Wayne, which makes me, I guess maybe the Batman voice is his normal voice and the Bruce Wayne voice is his like, I'm out on the town as Bruce Wayne. I got to put on a fake voice.
Wow, you'd think that he'd use his real voice for the voice he uses all the time and his fake voice for the one that he only uses when he's in costume.
But Bruce Wayne is the mask, Brian. You see?
This is a Superman thing.
He's really Batman.
This is a Kill Bill situation.
Bruce Wayne is the made-up person.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Kill
think
Bill?
so.
Superman,
We should watch
Kill
both
Bill?
Kill Bills
Yes, I love Kill Bill.
together. Okay, I'm going to add that to the list.
Yeah.
Watch both Kill Bills. Okay, anyway, let's do actual trivs, by the way.
Yeah, let's do that.
John Glover was a main character. He's the Riddler. Was a main character. He played the Devil on Brimstone, a TV show in 1988. Gary Frank, who played Daniel Mockridge in this, uncredited as cable access show host in one episode of that show. So he got the short end of the stick just like Mockridge. That was a creepy ending to the episode.
Yeah.
He's in his house with a shotgun, like, oh, I might be murdered at any time.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I like that it left, like, it kind of, I think it kind of gave the Riddler, like, more, he, like, became more of, like, a threatening,
Yeah.
like, where is he? You don't know.
He has more mystique than like the Joker just getting captured at the end of every episode and then just being out again next time. This time, at least, if the Riddler comes back, he'll be like, because he escaped custody. Duh. Batman, you idiot. When Edward Nygma is doing a crossword, one of the words appearing is Radomski, which is the last name of the director of the episode.
Oh.
There was also a door that said J. Snow.
There
So they
was.
predicted Game of Thrones. Simpsons did it. First appearance of the Riddler, his costume is a simpler version of an alternative costume that Frank Gorshin requested during the production of Batman 1966, since he did not like the character's unitard costume. You've seen the Riddler on the Adam West show. It's like a skin-tight morph suit, basically. Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, and I think that was only like the first couple Riddler episodes he wore that, then eventually he wears more of a suit. Since the introduction of this version of the character, the Riddler in the comics has largely abandoned his original costume for that green business suit and bowler hat.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I won't spoil things for you. When Batman turns the first key in the Riddler's labyrinth, the keyhole doesn't turn.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
I think it also didn't do it on the second one.
I think it did on the second
Did
one.
it?
I think so.
Are you sure?
The Riddler's mask and gloves changed from purple to gray a few times toward the end of the episode.
Didn't notice
Now,
that.
this was something that I think might have been fixed on the Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
Because also fixed on the Blu-ray is the 2 years later title card. The original, like the DVD version, the aired version, it's just wildly off-center, and like half of it's just chopped off the bottom of the screen. You can barely even read what it says. And like, I think this is a product of one of the it aired that way, and then they went, oh shit, and then they fixed it by the next time. But then when they went to do the DVDs, they just like, of course we'll go back to the original prints of the episodes, and they're like, fuck, no, we fixed it. So when they did the Blu-ray, they're like, please, for the love of God, use the correct thing.
That's hilarious.
That'll happen a few other times. I think this is the first like major noticeable one that we've gotten to. Let's see. The keys also changed from gray to gold a few times. When Batman picks up the A key while trying to unlock the door with the sharp discs, Robin knocks it out of his hand, but moments later the A key can be seen in its original place on the key rack.
Hanging up again, yeah.
The riddle of the Minotaur maze was adapted into the first stage of the Riddler level at the Super Nintendo game, The Adventures of Batman and Robin. The final challenge is the same riddle as in the episode, which the player may solve by entering the letters HB. Human brain, I guess? I don't know. Hewlett backward. In the in the scene where Batman and Robin first come across the maze in an amusement park, the word sex can be seen in the background. The S and E are part of the name of a carnival attraction. The X is hidden in the scaffolding. Yeah, we talked about that. Sound effects taken directly
Mario.
from NES. Mario, yeah, Super
Yes!
Mario Brothers. Yeah.
I called that one too.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just a Mario sound effect.
Yeah, just, like it's just like exactly out of it and try to hide it or mix it
You just hear.
differently. Yeah, they're just playing the theme song.
Yeah, this new Minotaur game. Check it out.
That's the end of, yeah. It's starring a plumber from Italy. Edward Nygma really ahead of his time. That's the end of Trivs. I don't have any more Trivs.
That's okay.
know.
We can move on.
The music
Jamie.
was kind of good.
The music was good. It wasn't
music was good.
super standout, but that also was like sometimes better.
It accented what was going on, and it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to hear what Jordan Bloom says about it.
Blue Man.
I wonder if we're gonna hear back.
I hope so. Jordan
hope so.
Manman. Jordan Man. Half man, half man. Is this a books or a hip hop?
Oh, this is hip. Actually,
Were there any books in this episode? There was a crossword newspaper. There was a
okay.
Riddles on like scrawled words.
I
Words are
think
books.
this is a book in which somebody is listening to hip hop, and like the opening, like the first 11 words is like, You know,
It's like the Baby Driver novelization, if you will. You've seen Baby Driver? No?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Holy shit, I'm adding that to the list. We're just going to have, one of the times that I come over, we're not going to watch Batman at all. We're just going to watch like 8 movies.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound...
And most of them are for you, but then I guess we don't have time for Snatch. Oh, well, I have to leave now.
No, Snatch has got to be the first thing that we watch.
Yeah. Light wraps. Any interesting? No, not really.
No, there like wasn't shading.
No, yeah, sometimes there just wasn't even shading. The Minotaur had some kind of cool light on him.
He was goldish.
Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I'm pulling at strings here, you know?
Just like the... No,
I
don't have anything for that.
Me neither. What else? We did the trivia, we did the light wraps. Batman's usefulness.
Very useful.
Yeah, he knew all those riddles. I've always thought this episode was kind of weird that it is like, when I think of the Riddler, and this, I don't think this is spoilers for the future because I think it's just a general overlay, overview of the character. General overlay. I just think of him like have you seen the new The Batman movie yet?
I have not, but I literally had that question asked to me today.
Okay. By me, just now.
No, by coworker.
Yes.
Well, so twice.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I don't know, he's a lot more menacing in that than usual, but in general, the Riddler strikes me as like, okay, yeah, really like intellectual adversary.
Kind of fanciful, kind of theatrical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in this seat, like his whole shtick is like, video game. I made a video game come to life. Like that just feels like a sort of more of a Joker thing, but not quite. Like it doesn't really fit anybody to me. It's just like a weird.
Honestly, with the amount of puns that are in this could absolutely be Joker instead of Riddler.
Yeah, they had a more Riddler-y episode with Diet Riddler than real Riddler, but I still prefer real. The taste of real Riddler than what's his face, Wormwood. Josiah Wormwood. Yeah. Do you put this episode on the top 10, Brian? Your bot. We haven't put an episode on the top 10 in quite a while. Do you want to read your top 10?
Yeah,
from bottom
I'll read
to top.
My top 10 from. We have Dylan's 11th place. Christmas with the Joker on this list. My list from 10 to 1 is Perchance to Dream, The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, Nothing to Fear, Beware of /the/Gray Ghost /Ghost.
I like how you read that one verbatim, but not The Strange Secretion of Bruce Robin Wayne.
I sure didn't.
Yeah.
Pretty Poison, Joker's Favor, Almost Got Him, Feet of Clay Part 2, and Heart of Ice. I'm fixing these right now.
Yeah. Feet of Trey. I do like keeping POV with an exclamation mark, though.
I do, too.
I wonder how many new listeners come in on the newest episode and go, what the fuck is a POV? What are they talking about? Every time they say POV, I don't know what that is.
It's a POV. It's a point of view.
It's a point of view!
Truth.
Don't change Beware of the Gray Ghost.
I absolutely won't. Jamie, what about yours? What's your top 10?
Well, you're not changing. I guess I'll read mine.
No,
what you think about it.
I don't think I'm going to. No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to either. So far, mine in reverse are I Am the Night, Dreams in Darkness, Perchance to Dream, Eternal Youth, Beware the Grey Ghost, Almost Got Him, Heart of Ice, Two-Face Part 1, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings. On Leather Wings, top episode, baby. Best episode.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So far. We should add that to the list of things to watch when I come. You guys see it and all. We should just watch that at the end of all of this. Rewatch. Well, I guess we're going to. Did we talk about this on the podcast or just in real? Maddie had suggested, I think I'm finally talking about it. I've been meaning to for like 12, 13 episodes. Maddie had suggested at the end of the podcast, and I like this idea, is to do an episode where we rewatch both like our top 10s and and get one like free shuffle of the top 10. So like we have to keep the ones that are on there, but we can rearrange them if we decide after watching them again that like, oh, this one's actually better or whatever.
I mean, we still do have our 4 shuffles that we agreed on. Well, we have 5, but we each used 1.
Yeah, but we got like 5-6 shows after Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, right.
We have to be careful. But yeah, so yeah, that and reading off of our episode guide with our fake titles and your descriptions will be our like bonus episode or bonus episodes at the end of each series, I think. Yeah, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to put it on the top 10 either.
No, it doesn't seem like that. What is up next?
It's a good episode, but it's not top 10 worthy. What up next is the Yoppie Mail.
Oh, my favorite.
Here it comes.
Mail time.
Oh my God. How have we not gotten docked for this?
That yop. That one small extra yop put it over.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. What am I?
If I was Robin, I would answer a whale.
What, corn? Is he corny? Is he fucking corn? What is it, Batman? Is it corn? He's a corn asshole? He's like, it's the stupidest guesses. Robin was a jackass in this episode.
To be fair, that would be me, because I'm terrible at riddles.
Yeah, but...
Do you have a riddle? Do you have a favorite riddle?
No, probably not. I feel like I could... my grandpa used to tell me, like, really good-ass riddles all the time that I could never figure out.
Yeah.
And I can't think of one right now.
I've got one. Do you want me to give you a riddle?
Yeah, I'm gonna look real stupid on the podcast. Go ahead.
That's okay.
So
I think I got this from
week.
like "Are You Afraid of the Dark" or something. So it's not deep, but it's always been in my head. What is the only thing you can put into a barrel that makes it lighter?
Light? A flashlight?
No.
I don't know. Air?
Physically lighter? No.
Oh. Put into a barrel. That's the end of my guess time.
Pause it if you don't want to know, listener.
And then unpause it and hear the answer.
And then unpause it. The answer is a hole. Because you're like removing mass from
That's
the barrel.
what you are for asking me this riddle.
A hole.
Amazing. We have a handful of voice messages. I believe the first come from the mail box. This is what? I'm trying to read while I do things. Don't leave me alone.
Don't leave you alone. Got it.
Scotty Cameron.
Scotty.
Dready Ghost White Boys is the name of this email. There's no attached voice message. I will just read it to you. I just got to say, I bet this pair of episodes compelled Michael Bay to direct Transformers. This is about Heart of Steel Part 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. Because of the explosions.
The explosions. It's clear the man never read a Transformers comic, let alone the complete original Marvel run or any of the Dreamwave Transformers comics before directing Transformers in 2007. He also probably never watched any of the cartoons in their entirety either. I do not know. So clearly he was a secret ghost director on this episode. I mean, why else would Cybertron blow up so easily? He saw Cybertron make transforming trash cans in the storyboards and thought he knew enough about Transformers to make 5 movies. He clearly didn't. Hey, that may explain the random transforming vending machines that show up throughout the Bayformers films. Callbacks to the transforming trash cans. I would like to show this Hardak Easter egg in Batman Arkham Origins, the video game. The Gotham City Daily building has an LED Hardak logo on it. I've noticed it a couple times when roaming around Gotham City. To answer Dylan's question, he attached a picture of it. Here you go. You can see it.
Oh, wow, like that's Hardak. Cool.
Yeah. It's a little bit different, but it's cool. Let's see. To answer Dylan's question, I'll give 2 brief answers. One, this is a Scary Robots question.
Yeah.
As a kid, Zurg's robot army in Toy Story 2 would be the answer. That entire sequence, in fact, gave me nightmares as a really small child. I just watched Toy Story 2 the other day with the boy. That opening sequence is tight as hell. It doesn't anymore now that I've grown up. Oh, good. 2, this is the current answer, ED-209 from RoboCop. Seeing those guns dismember a human like that would frighten me if I ever saw it in real life. That's the giant presents hall pass robot, I think. Okay. Scotty Cameron, are you listening? I accidentally called you Scarface Nate a second ago, but we cut that part out, and I didn't need to say this part. Okay? Are you listening? Voicemails or an email. Don't do both. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the play this time, but next time, you best watch your riddle. Your a-hole. Nope. Anyway, that was the end of Scotty Cameron's. This is from Keen Machine. If you're so smart, think of a shorter episode title. Come on down to the amusement park and test your luck in the maze of death. The riddle of the Minotaur maze. Fun for all ages. Also, if Bruce now owns the rights to the game and knows the backstory, couldn't he just write a royalty check to Nigma and call it a day? Now there's a riddle for you.
Oh.
More keen thoughts attached.
Hey diddle, time for riddle. Tell me, Yoppie dudes, what's so significant about the number 2,805? Answer? It's how many minutes of this podcast Brian had to get through before reaching an episode with the Riddler.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
But that's all in the past. Ancient history that's gone now. He's a new man. Of course, he probably won't figure that one out until it's too late.
Those are quotes from future
Anyway,
Riddler episodes.
This is my favorite interpretation of the Riddler. It's a stark contrast from Adam West's 1960s version of the Riddler, which was goofy and giggling and kind of a Joker character, into one that's very sophisticated, original, intelligent, and arrogant, and also tech-savvy, which becomes very vital to that character's personality in future iterations. I've watched this episode countless times. I have a very soft spot for it. It's easy to look at it through a critical lens now, but I hope that you enjoyed it, Brian. And James, thank you for finally getting us to the first Riddler episode. Very excited for this saga to continue. That is all. Keep it keen.
I guess it's on me for getting us here.
Yeah.
I just hit play 40 times and it happened eventually.
It wouldn't have happened without you. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I did enjoy it.
Yeah. This is from Scotty Cameron. Riddle of the week.
Bring it.
Okay? Here it is.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for getting to the first Riddler episode. I hope you noticed that Batman always cheats to defeat my puzzles. Now, hey diddle, time for a riddle. Jimmy, Brian, and Dylan, you're part of this too.
Whoa.
So first up, I am a restaurant from Cat in the Claw Part 1 that you have shamelessly used in your marketing. What am I? And to Dylan, if you are the listener, please do not lie. What are the passwords to all of your sock puppet accounts? I may or may not be Dylan Pollock myself, being the Riddler from The Batman. Riddler out.
That was a good impression of the Riddler from the Batman that Brian hasn't seen. Brian Man.
Good job, Jamie.
Stakes of the Riddle. This is from Scotty Cameron's second voice message.
So, here are the stakes of not answering my riddle.
Oh, well, the answer was Yoppie Foods, and the password to all of Dylan Pollock's sock puppet accounts is Pillendolic, all lowercase, and the P is a P. This is the stakes of the riddle from Scotty Cameron.
So, here are the stakes of not answering my riddle.
Okay, all right.
Right now, the entire animation department of ACOM is trapped in a maze of death. Everyone has a reverse bear trap on their head.
Yeah!
In the middle of the maze is the Joker Nosile, which has the key to unlocking their reverse bear traps. However, you can save them by answering the riddle, which will cause the reverse bear traps to deactivate. So you better not cheat, or they die. So, who will win? Obviously, that would be me, of course. So who will lose first? You, or the rats running that maze like their lives depend on it? And again, I'm definitely not Dylan acting like the Riddler from Batman Arkham City.
This is a little unsettling. I'm not sure about, that one. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on from there. This is from Jordan Blueman.
Oh, give us the answer, Jordan.
Hello and welcome to GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. Jack's out sick today because he has COVID, but I'm Jordan. I'm filling in for him. I also have COVID.
Oh,
but
no.
He's got it worse, so he's not. Look, the point is I couldn't do the special voice this weekend because I have COVID.
No!
So this is what we're stuck with. Tonight's top story. The Riddler did some stuff in a maze outside the city. It was really weird. Batman fought him. Who made the giant flying hand? Because I don't know. Did the Riddler make it, or was that like part of the weird Maze of the Minotaur attraction that was already there, and the Riddler just reprogrammed it? That's always confused me.
That's a really
anyway,
good point.
The real top story tonight is local badass Tip Tapricot graduates high school. So congratulations and keep being awesome.
Yeah. You didn't answer if it's Blue Man or Bloomin'.
Maybe we'll get it in the musical minute if we have one of those.
That's it. That's the only one.
Oh, Jordan.
Oh, no, wait, there is a musical minute.
Hey!
It's just, everyone was sending in their voice messages like all at the same time, so they're kind of out of order.
Oh, shoot.
We got Scarface Nate here with my answers to the question of the week. Oh, by the way, I hope you're feeling okay, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, that's awful to hear, but it sounds like you're keeping strong and keeping positive. So
Keeping keen.
keep
Keep it keen. Okay?
yeah.
Hello, James and Brick. Another great episode of Explosions, the animated series.
Yes.
Man, the 90s loved their explosions. You sure Michael Bay didn't come and direct this episode? Well, here are my answers to the questions before we get into one of my favorite TAS villains. 1. To answer Dylan's question, there are 3 robots I fear the most. 1. Skynet, of course. They are inevitable. 2. Mechagodzilla from any of the Godzilla movies. Dude's on to the friggin' T. How can he not be scary? And of course, the house from Smart House. At least someone else knows about that house. Of course, because it's Disney, they made it comical, but in reality, it's frickin' scary. But, to add in my thoughts, I do like the BTAS theme from Shirley Walker, as it is very versatile, especially in Batman Beyond. But we'll get to that 50 years from now, whenever now is. Stay happy.
It will. It'll take a while.
For sure.
Yeah. Smart House is just Alexa now. So we got it already.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who is afraid of the big black bat? The Riddler should be. If you get the reference, I salute you.
It's Batman Forever.
So, the animation was
remember
definitely
that.
something else. I believe the term is called extreme frames, where an animation has a limit, and when pushed to that limit, it can be used for artistic or comedic purposes. Sort of like the squash and stretch, as everyone likes to keep saying it. Movies like The Land Before Time use the former, and comedic shows like Animaniacs and all that use the latter. This episode seems to be in the middle,
Yeah.
where it seems to be somewhat artistic, but it also has over-the-top moments, like the moment where the guy turned beet red. I believe these
yeah.
are pedal
I
sound
forgot about
effects,
that.
so sure, whatever. Speaking of animation, the one thing that felt weird to me with the animation, besides everything else, was the freeze frame from the transition. I don't know, but the way it stayed still on that felt kind of weird to me. Stay up, you guys.
Yeah, that happens a lot in these these like 90s shows. I think it's just like I don't think you can do a fade as the animation is moving. I think it has to happen like in camera or something. So yeah, there's just a lot of like dun 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 dun, and then it freezes.
Yeah.
And then it fades out. Like, we can keep moving. I totally forgot about the
red face guy.
And then you spotted like a spider sense thing too.
Yeah. There was like, I don't know, Batman saved Robin from danger, and there was just like the Spidey sense lightning bolts kind of around the frame for about a quarter of a second.
Batman
I was like,
Arkham, you're about to be punched lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some weird choices, but maybe that guy was just so mad, You sit there squeezing your face muscles and face turns red. He just did it real quick. He's been practicing.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Dylan Pollock, riddle me this, Bry Man, part 1.
Oh, man.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week from Dylan Pollock on If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? Or if you're so smart, Riddler, why didn't you retain ownership of your intellectual property rather than signing a contract with Competitron, allowing them to keep your game and fire you? And welcome to Intellectual Property Laws, Mr. Nigma.
Oh, my God.
So,
That's the full name
boy,
of the
oh
podcast.
boy, Jim Jam and Broderick, does Mockridge ask the wrong questions. First, that he uses those rings at all. then that they somehow do restrain him, and then that his question is about, is this some kind of extortion racket, rather than, how am I trapped by these rings, and how do I get out of them? Also, Batman and Robin pull over on this bridge, and they don't even put on the bat hazards. It's just lazy bat driving. I'm just bat saying. Also, in the maze, there's a sign that says, losers ahead, and they note a duck after that. But duck is not said by Kevin Conroy or Lauren Ressler. It's just some random voice. And I've got a lot more stuff that I got to ask you in the next part, including the question.
Okay.
James' favorite part, of course.
Yeah, when whoever shouted, duck! I thought, like, was that Batman? No, it was too high-pitched. I guess it was Robin, but I think both of them just had frightened faces and just the word duck just shot out of the ether.
It was the maze itself.
Yeah, I'm just warning you. Yeah, the maze is an artificial intelligence that's trying to help them, but that's the only clue we get to that bit of lore.
No, I feel it's more like it's an artificial intelligence, and all it can do is scream its favorite animal.
It
just happened to work out
this
this
time. Helped
time.
them out in that moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a J mystery for you, says Dylan Pollock.
Okay, guys, let's talk about that ending here. So, how much is a good night's sleep worth? Is not a riddle. That's just a question.
That's true.
And I get that it's sort of an open-ended question, but I mean, I guess it varies from person to person. Some people only need a couple hours to sleep. That's not the point. I do love the dark ending of this episode and do wonder what happened afterwards. Do you guys think that Mockridge is still living in fear?
Yes.
Do you think he seeked therapy?
No.
Or has the Riddler just killed him at some point when Batman wasn't paying attention?
Maybe.
Okay. Question of the week. You have to play the real-life version of a video game or a board game similar to how Batman and Robin played The Maze. What game do you think you'd survive?
Borderlands.
Because I personally thought of Tetris and Super Mario, then pictured myself being crushed or missing a jump because I'm obviously not athletic, unlike Batman, who canonically can dunk. Let me know what you guys think.
Bring it back.
Batman can dunk. It is canon.
I think I could survive Borderlands. I could.
You think you would? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You with your guts and your shoulders and your teeth?
Yeah, man.
I don't think so.
Just give me some like fanciful sci-fi guns and some people with
That's
hockey
true, yeah.
masks, and I'll be great.
I do pretty well at South Park N64. You just pee in snowballs and throw them at turkeys.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I
fair.
could survive that pretty well.
Actually,
yeah.
for a realer answer, I just love the Borderlands series. Ocarina of Time, Zelda, like that's one of those situations where I find in the game it's just kind of like, oh man, if I could just you could just climb up this wall in real life, but no.
If I could just leave my terrible life and be a small nymph boy.
It's my dream.
And just fight.
With really
fight
good
with the
music playing in the
swords.
background all the time.
Yes. And the creepy pasta, scary lore around the game or whatever. You're not. Oh no, that's Majora's Mask. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the whole about it being
cursed game.
Yeah, in limbo or something like that, right?
Yeah, just
or the
haunted
afterlife
or
or something.
We're not going to talk about that, though. We don't want to curse this podcast episode. Mystery of Hardak 2.0 solved from Hardak.
Hey Yoppie dudes, sorry I didn't respond to the last episode, but now I'm here since you have finished both episodes. I'm glad you liked Heart of Steel, but disappointed it didn't reach number 1 on either of your top 10s. Now you want to know who did this? Well, Dylan Pollock knew it would be too predictable for him to do this, so he enlisted Maddie to create me. I'm here to replace Aaron's dad with a duplicate that will allow Dylan to take over the show. The process will be finalized by the episode His Silicon Soul. When that happens, the Watchtower and Yop Tower databases will become one. There will be no more fighting over the term Yop. This is a very elaborate scheme, you see, Brian. Now I will post mild spoilers in the comments. Only one way to know if I'm bluffing about the spoilers.
I love the saw music coming in the middle.
Yeah.
Whoever's doing this, Hardak, is very creative. It's Hardak, I know, but
yeah, obviously.
Good stuff. And then we have our musical minute from Jordan Blue Person.
Welcome to the Musical Minute. Jazzman, last week you asked if it's pronounced Blue Man or Blumen, and the truth is, I don't really care. It's not my real name.
What?
I guess when I originally came up with the username Jordan Blue Man, I was thinking of the Blue Man Group because, as I mentioned last week, I'm a percussionist. But my real name is Newman, and that rhymes.
Newman!
So I guess what I'm saying is it works on multiple levels, so do whatever you want with it. The music for this episode. The Riddler motif. if you change the orchestration on that, just the instrumentation, that could easily just be like an Old West Aaron Copland American Hoedown style melody. And I just think that's kind of funny because it makes me think of the Riddler as a cowboy.
This is a sheriff's badge, cowboy hat.
I love that.
Yeah, I think I figured out your problem, Jordan. You got COVID because that dinosaur spit COVID juice in your face because you're Newman. This is a multi-layered joke reference.
Yeah, I don't catch it. But
Newman
I will say
from Seinfeld is in Jurassic Park.
Oh.
He gets spat in the face with the goop.
Yep. And then he gets killed.
Okay. Anyway.
I want to say I do it's like a weird, I don't know if people are still listening to Blue Man Group, but the song Endless Column by the Blue Man Group is like maybe awkwardly in my like top 10 favorite songs of all time.
That's cool. There was a guy that taught percussion in the drum corps I was in who was in Blue Man Group at one point.
Yeah?
He was one of the Blue Men.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but
Steve.
Blue Man number 2 maybe.
Two-man group.
After you're in the Blue Man Group, you can't go by your real name anymore. You just have to go by Blue Man number whatever you were. And people will constantly ask you, is it pronounced Bloomin'? I don't understand.
Well, thanks for the insight, Jordan. And yeah, we hope that you feel better real soon. Sorry that you...
Yeah, everybody's getting COVID. Everybody I know. I mean, it's just a matter of time till I get it a second time.
I know.
Let's not have it be now. I've got a wee bit of... we talked about this already, but like a wee bit of... stuffy nose shit going on right now. I'm hoping it's just allergies. I don't know. I feel like I've got a little bit of a cold. But I did a COVID test, and it's not that, even though everybody I know has had COVID over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
So stop it, is all I'm saying. Let's look at, I almost said COVID's comments on Heart of Steel Part 2 or Dready Ghost White Boys. It's not anything to do with the episode. Oh, yeah, Hardak left some spoilers in the comments, so I'm not going to read. Thanks, Hardak. Well, Hardak's profile pic is the picture I showed you from the video game.
So Scotty
it's all
Cameron?
Comes together. Yeah, so Scotty Cameron also posted immediately after Scotty Cameron's comment. So I would assume, yeah. We know who you are. We still know who the Yop Tower is, though. By the way, there's a new Yop Tower episode out. Maddie and I listened to it. While filming something the other day, and it is hilarious. And you need to check it out.
Okay, I will.
Scotty Cameron. Yeah, the Justice League score is bizarre. This is for the movie. Danny Elfman. Oh. I listened to the Danny Elfman shit. I watched all those videos you told me to watch.
Yeah.
Happy and Sorry and the Trent Reznor one, whatever that one is.
I can't remember.
Yeah. They're all really cool.
Yeah, you like
very
it?
creepy and weird, but very artsy and cool. Fucking Sorry, is that the one where you see him through the like weird glass and he's got like white makeup all over his face? That fucked me up. I don't like that.
I literally think it was like a whiskey glass. I've been trying to figure that one out, but it's definitely some.
There's a
practical
behind
effects.
the scenes video for it that I saved to watch later.
Oh, neat.
So I will find out, I guess.
Dylan sent me a message on Instagram saying that he watched Happy and is like, having nightmares about it or whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty creepy. Yeah,
I love it. I'm glad you listened to it though.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I just got to watch them all or I'll never do it. So.
Right.
I'm never going to watch Snatch. Justice League score is bizarre. Danny Elfman can usually give a bad movie a good score as he did with Hulk 2003, but maybe with Justice League he was rushed to make one to replace Junkie XL's score for the film. Yep, I think that is what happened. Brian Ford. Okay, I'm having a senior moment here. What's the other song being played against Tank during Yoppie Mail? I cannot pick it out or place it. You mean this one? It's just the podcast song. It's called Intro.mp3. It's just this weird. It's a stock track that we've been memeing it on the podcast since day one. Ashley Touch, in the shot of Bullock being thrown into the bat signal used to be used in Cartoon Network commercials for TAS here in Australia. I remember it used to shock me every time I saw it. It seemed like such a violent and adult thing to happen, and I assumed that Batman must have thrown him into it out of anger, which confused me because it didn't seem like something Batman would do. It was only a few years ago I finally saw the scene in context. I'm really looking forward to next episode, but I'm disappointed that Brick guessed the villain so quickly. Maybe this will be Goodwill Hunting-style origin story where we discover he has a knack for solving riddles. It wasn't. Spoilers. I mean, there weren't any riddles to solve that weren't solved by Batman 2 seconds later. So.
There was one that... Oh, I called out the maze one before Batman did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's a giveaway though. That's not like even a riddle.
Corn? Is
Yeah.
it corn in my butt?
What's another?
Is that the answer?
What's another name for corn? Like, come on. Come on.
Oh, I get when Batman says like corn, and then they start driving away, and you said corn music just starts playing. I want to just I have so many TikTok ideas from this podcast. I gotta write that one.
So
down
what
too.
you should use is when he says corn, you play the song Twist.
Okay.
That is the song that needs to come in when he says corn.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Awesome. Thank you.
Zane Beatty. I get such joy when Brian makes references to past episodes. Also, there is just a voice of Maddie in James's head constantly yelling at him when he gets dates wrong. That's true, actually. Anything to do with math, I'm just immediately like, if Maddie was here, he'd be in such trouble.
Yeah.
Bacon on. A book's episode is cerebral, focuses on plotting, characterization, details, etc. A detective story is books. Hip-hop episode is fun, maybe a little wacky and has action. Batman beating up a supervillain or globe-trotting is usually hip-hop. You know, as we said last time, I'd say if it's more like a book, it's a book.
And if it's
Hip-hop
more like
is hip-hop.
Yeah. But actually, I think we should go back on that, just complete 180, and just say whatever the listener says is exactly what it means.
I think let's do a 180 and just say if an episode's like a book, it's hip-hop. And if it's like hip-hop, it's a book.
Yeah.
It's a new rating system. Banana Man says, okay.
Okay.
Aussie Dragoon. So next time we get the first appearance of the Riddler, an episode that, true to that fact, raises more questions than it answers. Like, if losing the rights to the game and the subsequent lawsuit left Nigma with nothing, how did he pay for henchmen and a private jet for his plan to work? If he could make enough money to do that in 2 years, why is he still upset about one game? Couldn't he just get credit for it later through his own success, giving him a platform to address it publicly? Why not just work for another video game company, or even a smaller one, and stick it to Mockridge that way? Why go straight to supervillainy?
That's a really good point.
Also, if he's smart enough to do all this, why aren't you rich? How did he get tricked into signing the work for hire contract in the first place? Like, it feels like both Mockridge and Nigma's intelligence varies so that the plot can happen.
It's almost like it's a
device. Yeah, I
Nice.
beat you to the corn. I also find it intriguing that a game that requires both knowledge of the Arabic language and Arabic dining customs to solve certain problems blew up so much. Like, it's neat to learn in hindsight, but it feels kind of unfair to expect the player to have that knowledge ready to go in the moment in 1993. Maybe it's just me.
And a palm top.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
God,
it was a back of
palm
the
top
hand
computer.
top, not a palm
Yeah,
top.
that's what. As soon as he said that, I'm like, that's a cool name for it. Is that what that part of your hand is? I don't think so.
The back of your hand, I don't think is called your palm. I'm pretty sure that only your palm is your palm.
What's the back of your hand called?
Palm. Palm top.
Because reverse palm, dorsal side. No, opposite of palm, dorsal. Dorsal
What?
aspect of the hand.
That should be the episode title.
Dorsal aspect of the hand. There's a giant hand in this episode. It works.
Hey!
I like it. Let's do it. Good luck for me fitting jump on the Bat-Wagon bracket 41 period. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Parenthesis or dorsal aspect of the hand close parenthesis.
I'm pulling for you,
It didn't
buddy.
happen. I promise it didn't happen. Yeah. Plot is continuing Ostrich Dragoon. I love how point blank all the naming in this episode is. We need a company that shows underhanded competitive business practices. Competitron. Also, the CEO will mock his employer after those practices. We'll name him Mockridge. Perfect. Put it in the can and set to air. Maddie Washburn. Fuck, I got startled when you yelled, "Shut up, Maddie, I don't care." I was doing math in my head and got stopped stone cold in my tracks by a fucking recording. I hate you. They told me that in person as well. Scarlowy 1. I have some bad news. I'm American. Sorry.
Oh, whoops. I mean, I
Whoops.
think at the time we also called out that, well, at least I said that I'm terrible with names and certainly could not keep track of all of our listeners' locations.
Well, we are in
names.
charge. I'd say Scarlowy is now Australian.
Oh, wow. Well,
So-
welcome to living in a
Poof.
different country. Scarlowy,
Yeah.
enjoy your health and dental plans.
Yeah, seriously, Jesus. Super Luigi 64. I really love If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? But the animation really bugs me at some parts. It's so rubbery.
Yeah.
John Glover is excellent as non-diet Riddler. My favorite Danny Elfman theme is the one from the Dilbert cartoon, a remix of his theme from Forbidden Zone.
What?
I don't know. You have to check that out. To answer Dylan, I love the M5 unit from the Star Trek TOS episode, The Ultimate Computer, especially the twist of where its personality comes from. I should know that, but I don't.
I don't know that, but I should.
Okay. Wency209, I'm starting to think that James and Brian are actually 10-year-olds with ADHD pretending to be fully grown adults. No, that's true.
That's basically, I mean, I think you were diagnosed with ADHD as well, right?
I've never been diagnosed with anything, but I've got like 6 things probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who doesn't?
I'm very ADHD. It's a problem.
AHDHDH.
I got A.
They just keep adding
/ghost.
/on/bat. Kate-tastic. Awesome podcast. A great thing to spend an hour or so on a Friday listening to whilst I make some art. Ooh. And if that was my only interaction with it, I love it just as much. It's made me think about how doing a podcast with friends watching DC shows we love. I also do, in fact, watch the episodes on a CRT that I got for free and is probably older than me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a bunch of star emojis, 5 stars. Thank you. KM. James, I don't know where you found pronunciation. Oh, sorry. I just assume you're talking about pronunciation. Production numbers, but DCAU Wiki says these episodes produce back to back. Yeah, sometimes the wiki is off. I get my production numbers off of World's Finest, who got them originally from Warner Brothers, so there shouldn't be any issues there. Although occasionally I do spot an issue and I'll talk to them about it and we'll fix it, but it feels the most reliable to me. But anyway, finally, long-awaited Riddler episode. I really like this one. DCAU usually has a timeless feel, but this is one of those exceptions that you could see this show was made in 1992. Seeing best video games from 1992 was really interesting. Video games were really new in 1992 and wouldn't touch on something that new in a show that was supposed to be timeless. Even writing crosswords for newspapers or designing a tabletop game would have aged much better, and that's saying something. But I think Riddler's pure logic-based thought process is really similar with programming languages binary, so I could understand why they did that. I guess that makes sense. It still feels a little weird to me. Riddler escapes in the end, and Batman doesn't answer his final riddle. I really like the idea of a really smart and cunning villain that even Batman couldn't beat in his own game.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Gendy Tartakovsky worked on this episode. That's the Samurai Jack guy.
Oh, sweet.
His biography says he worked on the Batman the Animated Series while working on Lapis Azul animation studio. Lapis Azul in Spanish and literally translates to blue pencil. This company made just one other episode and then went bankrupt while making that other episode. After a company bankrupted, Gendy Tartakovsky went to work on Hanna-Barbera, and you probably know the rest of the story. I'm really excited for second season of his most recent show, Primal. Yeah, I got to watch that. I haven't checked that out yet. That's interesting about the bankrupted company, because I thought that that's what happened with
ACOM.
No, it was oh gosh, was it ACOM?
I feel like it was ACOM.
I feel like we talked about this. I don't know. Anyway, Batgirl fangirl. We start with a riddle. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? If you thought the flame effects were bad in the Cat in the Claw Part 2, get a load of this episode. I think these were okay. It's certainly no Pav, but I'm a big fan of the Riddler. He's probably my favorite bad guy. I like all his episodes in BTAS. They have great dynamic or dramatic endings to them. The only thing that's a little off with this episode is the animation. It's so different all over. Overall, though, I like this one. Loved the podcast as usual. You're doing such a bang-up job. The last one was so lovely with everyone's nice comments and Brian's outpouring of emotion. I'm so glad to be part of this community. 5 stars and 5 hand of fates.
Oh, thanks.
I'm
glad you're a part of this community, too.
Dylan Pollock, I mean, you guys are okay at this, but you were better with a third person. Thank you, Tip Tapricot. I will always listen if it's just the two of you, though. Love this podcast. James and Brian announced storyboard artists from the show might come on. The entire fan base gets excited. Dylan, and who else will come on with him? Lastly, you guys are welcome to come over and watch the Batman movies on my big TV. Check that. Jizzle says don't invite strangers to stay at our home. The man from the train station stayed for several months. What the fuck? And finally, we have Mark Aquino, who's been just nailing it lately, getting the first comment. It's times like these when I feel like watching Animal House, which starred the late, great John Belushi and Stephen First. That's the podcast, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Damn.
If you want to reach out to us, like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 1, or the fire griffin and the hand of the maze of the Minotaur, you know what I'm saying, baby? Then email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com, or send a voice message to anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon. Why don't you?
Do it.
Why don't you? Guy at the Taco Bell the other day talking to me in a Minnesota accent, and I'm like, what you doing there? Why are you doing this? Is this a funny joke?
Obviously, he brought the cheese.
He said
that was going a little bit more Irish
saying,
than it was Wisconsin. I'm afraid I don't know how to do other American accents.
I don't know. He was just handing me the drinks, and he's like, don't you know, after everything that he did, and that was his entire impression.
Sweet.
So I'm sorry about that. A boot?
No.
No?
Next
They're
episode.
not close enough to the border to boot
I don't think
things?
so.
All right. Well, new episodes of the podcast are out every Friday on the Podtower YouTube channel and your favorite podcast feeds, so get with it. All right?
Okay.
The next episode is called Dun Dun Dun. It's called Joker's Wild.
Joker and Harley Quinn.
That's your prediction?
Yes.
What's the episode going to be about?
They're gonna
What's
kill,
it going to be about, Brian?
They're going to kill SpongeBob.
What happens in the episode?
They're going to kill SpongeBob.
It's about Joker. Yeah. It is Joker in because Joker's in the title. What happens?
Joker and Poison Ivy kill SpongeBob.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like over
what
the
an
whole
episode.
It's just the whole episode is just them like torturing him. It's going to be chaos.
That's my number one now. The one that you created in my brain just now.
You're welcome.
The Joker and Poison Ivy kill SpongeBob.
Yes.
A character that wouldn't be invented for 7 years.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Well, we'll see you next week for Joker and Poison Ivy kill SpongeBob.
Yeah.
.mp3. Bye.
Bye, listener. Thanks.
But that creep Mockridge got to pocket a cool 10 mil from the buyout. What a burn.
Maybe. But we've been searching for the Riddler for months. And he's still out there. Mockridge may have his money, but he won't be sleeping well. How much is a good night's sleep worth? Now there's a riddle for you.